Students, I hope that you have understand to calculate the national income by all the three methods that previously I have explained you value added method, income method, and now today I have explained you expenditure method. So if it is asked in the exam that you have to calculate national income by all the three methods, so how you can calculate? So I am now giving you the reconciliation of the three methods that how you can solve the national income by value added income as well as expenditure method. So here I have given the questions in which the adjustments of all the three methods are given. So by using these adjustments you have to calculate the national income by value added income and expenditure method. First of all, you have to make the three columns, and in the sequence wise you have to solve the questions like when the adjustments come up, the which of the methods you have to post the adjustment accordingly. Like first you make the column of value added method, second income method, and third expenditure method. So now come to the questions. See in that question, so first of all, the gross value added of primary sector, gross value added of secondary sector, and gross value added of tertiary sector is given. So these three are coming in the which method? These are the adjustment of value added method. So you post these adjustment in value added method. That in this column you just write the gross value of primary sector, gross value of secondary sector, and gross value of tertiary sector. That is, you have to add all the three values of all the three sectors. So it is 5,300 crores. So it is GDP MP by value added method. Then next adjustment is compensation of employees. So this is the adjustment of which method? This is income method. So write compensation of employees in income method. After that, rent and royalty, this is also of income method. Interest, it is also from the adjustment of income method. And mixed income, profit, that is also you have to write in the income method. So these are all the components of factor income. So you have to post this adjustment in income method, and then you will got this is not GDP MP. What you got? This is NDPFC directly. When you add all the factor incomes, then it will be NDPFC directly came. Now next adjustment is private final consumption expenditure. So where you have to write, this is the expenditure method adjustment. So you have to write in expenditure method, that is private final consumption expenditure. Second is gross domestic capital formation. Again you have to write in expenditure method. Then net export. Net export is also you have to write in expenditure method. Then government final consumption expenditure is also given. Yeah, that is also you have to write in expenditure method. So these are the expenditures of four sectors you have write in expenditure method, and it will now become GDP MP. Here in this question you have not taken change in stock. Why? Because in the it is gross domestic capital formation is given here. Here fixed capital formation is not given. In place of risk-weighted capital, it is gross domestic capital formation is given, so no need to take separately change in stock. So here we have not taken change in stock. Now this is value-added method. In value-added method, you got GDP MP. So GDP MP, I told you that how you make it NDP MP. So you have to exclude depreciation. So depreciation, the value of depreciation is given, that is 500. So if you have to exclude depreciation from GDP MP, then it is for NDP MP in value added method. And NDPMP should be converted to NDPFC when you have to exclude the value of net indirect tax. So how much is net indirect tax? Net indirect tax is this much, 700. So you have to exclude the value of net indirect tax, it becomes NDPFC. And then NFIA, net factor income from abroad, is given, this is 100 crores. So if you add the value of 100 crores, then it is 4,200 is national income by value added method. Now come to the income method. Already you got NDPFC in income method now. Then if to make it national income, what you have to do here also, you have to include the value of net factor income from abroad. That is the value 100 crore is given. So 100 crore if you have added in income method also. So in income method also you got 4,200 crore as national income by income method. Now expenditure method. Expenditure method mein when you have add the expenditures of all four sectors, so you got GDP MP, that is 5,300 crores. So GDP MP should be converted to NDP MP when you have to exclude the value of depreciation. So when you exclude the value of depreciation, it becomes NDP MP, that is 4,800 crores. And NDP MP should be converted to NDPFC. So market price should become factor cost when you have to exclude the value of net indirect tax. So here in NDPFC you have to exclude 700, that is net indirect tax. Then you got NDPFC, net domestic product at factor cost. then it is domestic income, and again you have to make in national income by income expenditure method also. So again you have to include the net factor income from abroad 100 crores in this method also. So you got 4200, and this is national income by expenditure method. Now you can understand that from value added method you got 4200 national income, in income method also you got 4200 national income, and expenditure method also you got 4200 national income. So by using the formulas of these methods, you have to calculate the national income by value added method, income method, and expenditure method. So these are the different methods that you have taken for calculating national income by national incomes. You can calculate the, either you take the production activities, either you can take the income activities in factor income, or either you can take the expenditure method, that is expenditures. So these are the three phases of our economy, that is the production phase, income phase, and expenditure phase. So in this way you can understand that how you have to calculate national income of our economy. National income is also known as national income at current price and national income at constant price. Now what is the national income at current price and constant price? National income at current price is also known as nominal GDP. Nominal GDP or GDP at current price. Now what is nominal GDP? GDP, you know, GDP means gross domestic product. This is the total value of final goods and services produced in our economy. But this value of goods and services, we are not taking the quantitative value. We are taking the money value, that is in terms of monetary value. So how the monetary value came? Monetary value is can be calculated when you multiply the total quantity of goods and services produced of each and every sector. It should be multiplied by the price of the commodity, and then you got the money value or the monetary value, that is GDP, you can calculate. But that GDP is either known as nominal GDP or real GDP. Nominal GDP means it is the GDP at current price. Current price, you know, current price means the price of the goods and services when you are taking, this is the price of the current year, that is the same year in which you are calculating the GDP or the national income. Suppose we have to calculate the GDP of 2020. So you have to take the price of the goods and services of 2020. This is known as the current price. So that is known as nominal GDP or GDP at current price. But GDP is also known as real GDP or the GDP at constant price. So GDP at constant price, you know that it is the national income by GDP at constant price or national income at constant price. That is again, you know the formula of GDP. The formula of GDP is GDP is equals to price into quantity. Quantity, you know na, that whatever the goods and services produced by primary, secondary, and tertiary sector, that is the total quantitative value. But basically, in calculating national income, we are not taking the quantitative value, but we are taking the money value, that is in the terms of monetary value. So how you got the monetary value? When you multiplied the quantity, total goods and services by the price of the commodity, so it will be known as the quantity money value, and it is known as GDP of the country. But GDP at constant price, you know that here you have taken the price. Which price you have taken? Here you have taken the price of the base year. Base year, you know, base year is the any previous year. Either you can take the base year means previous year, or either there is a base year of our country also, that is 2011 and 12 is known as the base year of our country. Our present base year is 2011 and 12. So when you are calculating the quantity of the goods and services by the price, either you take the price of the base year, that is 2011 and 12, or either you can take the previous year price also. So when you are taking the price of the base year, so it is known as the real GDP or GDP at constant price. So understand there are two types of GDPs are there, real GDP and nominal GDP. Real GDP is the GDP at constant price, and nominal GDP is the GDP at current price. And this constant and current, you know, that is the price of the goods and services. If we are taking the price of the base year, then it is known as constant GDP. And if we are taking the price of the current year, that is known as the nominal GDP. Suppose if it is asked in the exam that which is better, nominal or real GDP, which is better, so that real GDP is better. Always real GDP is better than nominal GDP. Why it is better? Because real GDP tells us the actual flow of goods and services in the economy. Because price you have taken the base year price, so that is constant. So whatever will be the change in our national income or GDP, that is because of the flow of goods and services only. So it reflects the true picture of the economy. Second thing is that real GDP is better than nominal GDP because it is the better means of comparison. And you all know that comparison is always good comparison. If we compare the things, we can make progress, and it is also helpful in the international comparison also. That also helps us that our country's GDP is we can compare from the previous year GDP or the GDP of the past year also, and also the we can compare the GDP of other countries also. And if there will be the changes in GDP, suppose if the GDP of the present year is less than the previous year, so we can make the efforts accordingly. We can make the chances of better progress of our economy for the development of economic activities. And so you can understand that there are two types of national income or the GDPs of our country, that is GDP at constant price and GDP at current price. And GDP at current price is nominal GDP, and GDP at constant price is known as the real GDP. And out of the two GDPs, which is better? Real GDP is better, because real GDP reflects the true picture of the economy. Real GDP is a better means of comparison, and even international comparisons are also possible with that. And you know that GDP is not only the progress of our country, because but it is the indicator of progress also. Through the GDP of any country, we can measure our progress, that we are progressing, we are now in the path of development, or we are lacking in the development activities, our production of goods and services are increasing or not. So that is why we are calculating the national income of the country. And now you can understand what is national income, what are the different methods of national income, and these methods can be taken separately, because from each method the national income should be the same, but the methods are different because there are different economic activities are there. Either you can take the economic activities, the production activities, so you are taking the value added method. If you are taking the income distribution of income to the factors of production, so you are taking income method. And if you are not taking value added method or income method, so you can choose the expenditure method also. That means you can calculate the national income of our country by the expenditures, total expenditures of all four sectors in the economy. So either you can calculate national income by production activities or income activities, or either expenditures. So these are the three methods of calculating national income.